Schriber-Cushing, and you're watching Family Business Dimensions, the research you need to prioritize what's important and how to overcome your family business challenges. Today, I want to bring forth the academic literature on what the scholars think are some big challenges for family businesses. And today I want to talk about the biggest challenge. Before we talk about the biggest challenge, though, I want to cover a little bit of what are some of the challenges. So family businesses face quite a lot, and it stems from why the challenges of family businesses face stem from why a family chooses to get into a business in the first place. For example, philosophically, some family businesses choose to pursue family business because they want to see through success for their family members, or they want to help each other succeed. Others, they want to be their own boss. For other family business, they wanted more control. They saw a tremendous financial gain, and others saw work flexibility. If they were in family business together, then if they needed to grab a child from school or when they were sick, they had the flexibility to do that because they were their own boss. Family businesses also come with a lot of stress, resource management issues, governance issues, performance issues surrounding whether to hire non-family managers or not, and also paramount is motivating family members to work in the family business, in their assessing their ability to work in the family business. Do they have skills? And also assessing the family members' willingness to work in the family business. And that's fairly new within the research as well, ability and willingness of a family manager. So overall, the research that I looked at from the academic scholars helps me to see that the survivability or the longevity of a family business depends on the ability of that family business, to juggle and balance emotional issues and to reach their goals, both economically and non-economically. It's also really important to understand the challenges of family businesses, because then we can figure out a way to not repeat their mistakes. Can we learn from them? What solutions did they put in place? Did they fail or succeed? The popular literature cites that about 70% of all businesses in the United States are family businesses, and they account for a significant number of new jobs and the GDP. So that means that at one time or another, whether you own a family business or not, you've probably worked for one, or you've probably interacted with one. One of the main goals of family business is passing the wealth or the actual family business itself on to the next generation. And so in order to do that, families have to put certain things in place and balance economic and non-economic priorities at the same time. If they let non-economic priorities rise to the top, their economic performance is going to suffer. And in the long term, economic performance is necessary for the business to sustain itself across generations. For example, if family involvement is one of the non-economic goals, and the goal is to have full-time family involvement, then the business has to produce enough financial resources, or enough resources in general, to accommodate each of the family members' needs who are fully involved in the business. If the founder chooses to pass the business from one generation to the next, the founder also has to have placed his financial needs ahead of passing it on to the next generation, because if he or she has not figured out a way to sustain themselves in retirement, there are going to be issues. So the founder has decisions to make on whether or not they take dividends, or do they take a salary from the family business in post-retirement, or do they have enough money saved in general that they need nothing from the family business? Those things are really important. Especially if economic gains are limited, then non-economic goals need to be prioritized vastly different, because if you don't have money to help the business move forward and you have cash flow, you're going to have a really difficult time even meeting the needs of family members and satisfying your need for non-economic goals. So for example, if a founder can't afford to pay his family members, then the family members might need to find jobs outside of the family while helping the family business still, so that financial pressure is no longer on the family business. That financial pressure is alleviated by the family members' other jobs, and they can focus on getting the family business to a place where it can produce whatever it needs. If family businesses tend to have quite a lot of outside economic help, like for example, trust funds or grandparents' investments or in-laws' investments, those family businesses, because those economic means are available, are going to tend to prioritize non-economic goals to an unhealthy extent. And what that means is if that money were to ever run out, they might not have a plan in place, a contingency plan for how do we now account for our own economic performance rather than this outside investor, this outside help. So non-economic goals include family involvement, include succession to the next generation, and the non-economic goals and economic goals tend to be very intertwined. And the family has to make a choice about prioritization, which one is more important at that moment in time, or for a long period of time, or for a short period of time. The other issue is that if the family brings into the office or into the family business too much family baggage, which is negative economic prioritization, it's going to have a hard time surviving. And the whole point of family business, or for many family businesses, the whole point is to accumulate wealth to provide for the family or to pass on to the next generation. So the point is to reach longevity or survivability for that family business. So they need to prioritize economic and non-economic goals in a way that allows them to move forward. So finally, what is the biggest challenge? Well, the biggest challenge is prioritizing family-centered non-economic goals. Small and medium-sized family firms tend to face more challenges if they value family-centered non-economic goals more than economic goals. So non-economic goals actually characterize family firms much differently than non-family firms. And this is because those non-economic goals hold emotional value that is not present to a certain extent. It's more severe in family businesses than it is in non-family businesses. While we're all humans and we all experience emotion, family businesses hold this emotional value as a family much more strongly than a non-family business, so they struggle with it more. So we can think about non-economic goals as emotional costs and emotional returns, and we'll talk more about that later. So value in a family business or success is also defined differently from business to business because of the idiosyncratic differences between family businesses. They're very heterogeneous, so the problems are different across the board. So the severity at which a family business actually faces non-economic goals depends because of the heterogeneity of family firms. And what's also really important to think about is if a family business closes or sells, it's not necessarily a failure of the family business. That sale or closure might have resulted in more wealth for the family, and therefore it's a success. It did what it was supposed to do. It reached its goal. So success in family business is basically just achievement of goals, both economically and non-economically. Some family business owners see family business as a means to support family members, and emotional value comes from that family involvement. So they value the family involvement, and therefore they value supporting their family. But in order to do that, they also have to balance those economic goals. Again, it's really, really important. When family business founders or family businesses in general, the managers, when they evaluate or value the family business, they're looking at two different things. What they're looking at is economic, financial value. How much is the company worth? How much cash flow do they have? They're also looking at non-economic goals or priorities or emotional value, the costs, emotional costs and returns of holding that business. What comes along with owning that family business and operating as a family? Are they doing well? Are they not doing well? Are they having a lot of issues?